Welcome back to Learning with Haneen. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Algebra 2 June 2024 Regents. I've been receiving a lot of comments asking for me to go over this Regents in preparation for the August one. I am sorry for the delay. I've just been really busy. But in today's video, hopefully we're going to be going over part 1, which is going to be the entire multiple choice section. I'm going to be showing you how to use the calculator for some of these questions and how to truly simplify these questions. So with that being said, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure, most importantly, to comment down below any questions that you have. Which topics, which sections are you struggling with, so I can make sure to send out videos that are going to be really helpful for you all. So with that being said, let's get started. So let's start with question number 1. Question number 1 says, which expression is equivalent to x plus 3 squared plus 4 times x plus 3 minus 5? So first things first, what we want to do is we want to simplify this expression. So what we're going to do is we're going to first simplify x plus 3 squared. A trick that I learned is what you're going to do is you're going to do x squared is just x squared. Then inside, 3 times x is 3x. Then you're going to do 3x times 2, which is going to be 6x. And then 3 squared is 9. And you want to double check that, right? Because it seems like a new strategy. So if we do x plus 3, and if we FOIL, this is x squared, this is 3x, this is 3x, and this is 9. We end up getting x squared plus 6x plus 9. So that's the first part. Then we're going to add 4 times x plus 3 minus 5. We continue simplifying that. And then we simplify again. So we have our x squared, 6x and 4x are our common terms, so that's 10x. And then 9 plus 12 minus 5 is going to give us 16. So now we're going to see which of the following is equivalent. So if we look at 4 obviously we can eliminate because our bx are not equal. So 4 is eliminated. Now, a trick to do this is to look at your c. So when we FOIL, our c is being us multiplying this term times this term. So 5 times -1 is just -5. So that we know that's the term for c. -2 times 4 is going to be -8 for our c. 8 times 2 is going to give us 16. This matches with this. We know answer choice 2 is our answer. Obviously, you can FOIL all of them. But remember, this is a timed exam. You have 3 hours for the test. So it's very important that you use your time wisely. And you can do this by, seeing each of these binomials, each of these who are going to create trinomials, have different terms. So if I multiply 5 times -1 and I get -5, I know that's not my answer because my c is 16. If I do -2 times 4, I'm going to get -8. My c is 16 again, that's not right. So I can eliminate those. When I do answer choice number 2, 8 times 2 is 16, so both of my c terms match. That is my answer. Question number 2 says, which value to the nearest tenth is an approximate solution for the equation f of x equals g of x if f of x equals 5 divided by x minus 3 and g of x equals 2 times 1.3 to the x power? So solution means that it's asking which value of x of the multiple choice is going to make the equations true where f of x equals g of x. The simplest way to do this is on your calculator. So to solve question number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to stow each of our answer choices into the calculator. So we're going to start with answer choice number 1. So we're going to go into our calculator and we're going to go 3.2 stow as x. Then we're going to type in our equations. 5 divided by parentheses x minus 3. And we get our value 25. Then we're going to do 2 parentheses 1.3 to the x. We're going to get 4.63. They don't match. Eliminate answer choice number 1. Answer choice number 2. We're going to do 3.9 stow x. Then we're going to do 5 divided by x parentheses x minus 3. And then we're going to do 2 times 1.3 to the x. And we're going to get 5. So for 5 divided by x minus 3, we get 5.55555. For 2 times 1.3 to the x, we get 5.56. We can see that if we round the answer for the first equation, for f of x, we're going to get 5.6. And for g of x, we also get 5.6 when rounded. So we know this matches. This is number 2. So we solve this by stow x values into the calculator. I'm going to give an important reminder. On the multiple choice, the graders are not looking at your work. So if you're having trouble solving it by hand, do it the quickest way possible is through your calculator. They give you your calculator for a reason. You need to use your calculators. Using your calculators helps you greatly. So let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3 says, which equation is graphed in the diagram below? So we're given options of sine and cosine, and we have to find which equation is right. First things first, I want to know whether it's sine or cosine. We know that sine follows the pattern of midline, max, we could do this, or it could start at min, midline, again it could be min or max, and then midline. Cosine, on the other hand, does max or min, midline, max, the minimum or the maximum, midline, and then either the max or the min, whichever you start with. So if we look at our graph, well, we start at a midline, then we go to the minimum, then we go back to our midline, we go back to the maximum, and use the midline to complete one cycle. Well, which trigonometric function follows this? Well, we know it's sine, so we're going to eliminate answer choice 2 and 4. Now, how do we distinguish? We have 2 different amplitudes. We have an amplitude of 3 and an amplitude of 5. We have a midline of 5 and a midline of 3. Now, we know that the amplitude is equal to the max minus the min divided by 2. Let's find our amplitude. So I know that our maximum is 8. This is our max. Our minimum is 2. Divided by 2, we get 6. Divided by 2, we get 3. So we know our amplitude is 3. So we can eliminate answer choice number 3. Answer choice 1 wins. Also, let's look at the midlines. This one starts at 5. So we know our midline is 5. Answer choice 1 again. So this is how we figured it out. Well, first we decided to eliminate whether it was sine or cosine. We figured that it went mid, min, mid, max, mid. So it followed what? The sine graph. Then we distinguished and we saw whether the amplitude started at 3 or whether it started at 5. And now, also, it's negative. Why is it negative, Haneen? Well, because our amplitude is negative. Why is it negative? Because since we started at our minimum, technically it's going to be 2 minus 8 divided by 2, which is equal to negative 6 divided by 2, which equals negative 3. Question number 4. Which point is in quadrant 3 and is a solution to the system below? So what we're going to do is, let's remember quadrant number 3. So here's quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. Quadrant 1 is positive, positive. Quadrant 2 is negative, positive. Quadrant 3 is negative, negative. Quadrant 4 is positive, negative. Haneen, why did you do this? Well, I want to see if I can eliminate any of my answer choices. I can eliminate answer choice number 1 because it's what? It's in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 tells me that my x is going to be positive and my y is going to be negative. So that can be eliminated. Now, how do I know which answer it is out of 2, 3, and 4? Your calculator. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your calculator. You're going to go to y equals, you're going to type in your equations, x squared minus 24 and x minus 12. So x squared minus 24 and y1, y2, x minus 12. Then I'm going to graph. I'm going to do second zoom. We're going to do just zoom, and we're going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see our entire graph. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do second trace. I'm going to go to 5 and hit intersect. I'm going to my first curve, which is my parabola. I'm going to go to my line, which is my second curve. I'm going to estimate where they intersect. And I get my intersection to be -3, -15, which is answer choice number 2. That's how you solve question number 4. Question number 5. For which equations will the value s equals 4 make the statement an identity? So, identity means they're equal on both sides. So, I'm going to simplify number 1. So, we have 2x minus 3 squared. Again, we can do the trick that I said. So, 2x squared is just 4x squared. And then 2x times -3, that's going to be -6x times 2 is -12x. Then -3 squared is 9. Now, they're saying that they're substituting s for 4. So it's equal to 4x squared minus 3 times 4x plus 9, because this is my value of s. And if I simplify this, I'm going to get 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. Are they equal? Yes. Is this an identity? Yes. So answer choice. So s works for equation number 1. So I can eliminate answer choice 2 and answer choice 4, because 2 says only 2 will work when we know 1 already works. Answer choice 4 we can eliminate because it says neither 1 nor 2. Answer choice 1. Now we check answer choice number 2. So we want to break down answer choice number 2. So x minus 2 cubed. I'm going to do my squared first. So x minus 2 times x minus 2. I'm going to FOIL. X squared -2x -2x plus 4. X squared minus 4x plus 4 times x minus 2. Do I have to keep going? No, because the second part is written the same way. So here it says minus 4x. Here it says plus sx. S is 4. So it's basically saying x minus 2 times x squared plus 4x plus 4. Not the same, because here it's plus 4, here it's minus 4. So we know that it does not work for answer choice for equation number 2. Our answer choice is 1, and that is how you solve question number 5. Now question number 6 says, the number of bacteria in a sample which can be modeled by an exponential regression is shown in the table below. Assuming this trend continues, approximately how many bacteria would be present 8 hours after the observation began? So, we can write an exponential equation. So we can say y equals abx. We know that our initial amount is 40. We don't know our b. We know our x is 8. How do we can figure out our b? What we can do is we're going to do 48 divided by 40, because we know when we have exponential regressions, we either multiply this way or divide this way. So I want to find how much it changes between an hour, right? So when I do this, 48 divided by 40 is going to be 1.2. So I rewrite my equation. Y equals 40 times 1.2 to the 8th power. So I put that in my calculator. and I'm going to get 171.992. Our question says approximately. So which is the closest answer to 171.9? Answer choice number 3, 168. We know that again it says approximately, so the closest answer. That is question number 6. Question number 7. Factored completely, x cubed plus 4x cubed. Question number 7 says, factored completely, x to the 4th plus 4x cubed minus 9x squared minus 36x is equivalent to. So we're going to factor. So we're going to split it down the middle. 4x to the 4th, x to the 4th plus 4x cubed, on the other side minus 9x squared minus 36x. GCF. So what is the greatest common factor between x to the 4th plus 4x cubed? X cubed. Here we're remaining an x, and here is remaining a 4. On this side, what is the GCF of negative 9x squared minus 36x? Well, negative 9x. What is left is an x plus 4. So that part is done, right? So we're going to put it all together. X cubed minus 9x, x plus 4. Look at that. Answer choice 3 works, right? But is it factored completely? No. Because I can still factor out a GCF between x cubed minus 9x. So answer choice 3 is eliminated. I can still factor this out. So what is the GCF between x cubed minus 9x? X. The x squared minus 9. X plus 4. Is that it? No. This can be still factored completely. So this can be factored into x plus 3, x minus 3. Haneen, why did you do it so fast? It is a difference of 2 squares. Dots. Difference of 2 squares. So if I reroute my entire factor, be x plus 3, x minus 3, x plus 4. So x times x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x plus 4. This is equivalent to answer choice number 2. So for number 7, answer choice is 2. Now, question number 8 says, the solution set for the equation x plus 1 equals 4x plus 25 is. So we're going to solve. So x plus 1 equals the square root of 4x plus 25. To get rid of the square root, I'm going to square both sides. So I have x plus 1 squared equals 4x plus 25. I factor this out. I get x squared plus 2x plus 1. Again, the trick. X squared is x squared. 1 times x is 1x times 2 is 2x, and 1 squared is just 1 equals 4x plus 25. Subtract the 4x on both sides. Subtract the 25 on both sides. Simplify. X squared minus 2x minus 24 equals 0. I can factor this out, so I'm going to factor it. What two numbers multiply to get negative 24 and add to get negative 2? Well, I can have 6 and 4, and I can make it as negative 6 and 4. So I rewrite this as x minus 6, x plus 4. I get my set it equal to 0, so x minus 6 equals 0. X plus 4 equals 0. Add 6 on both sides. X can equal 6. Subtract 4 on both sides. X can equal negative 4. Now, some people are going to say, well, oh, my x is going to be 6, x is negative 4. I'm going to pick answer choice 3. Wrong. Don't do that. You have to check. Sometimes you're going to get an answer, and when you plug it in, it doesn't work. So what we're going to do, we're going to check. So we're going to check negative 4 first. We're going to plug it in. So negative 4 plus 1 equals square root of 4 times negative 4 plus 25. So that is negative 3 equals question mark square root of negative 16 plus 25. So negative 3 equals the square root of 9. Negative 3 does not equal to 3, so answer choice 4 does not work, so we can eliminate choice 3 and 4. Now we have to check 6. So x equals 6. So we're going to get 6 plus 1 equals the square root of 4 times 6 plus 25. 7 equals question mark, square root of 24 plus 25. 7 equals question mark, square root of 49. 7 equals 7. That works. Answer choice 6. So x equals 6 is a solution for the equation, so we know answer choice 2 is our answer. Question number 9. If f of x is represented by the graph below, which translation of f of x would have imaginary roots? So it's saying that when we have imaginary roots, we know it does not what? Hit the x-axis. So if something hits the x-axis, I need to either move it up or pull it down to not make it hit the x-axis. If I make it 1 and 2, because they either move it to the left or move it to the right and make it small. That doesn't help anything. Now we're in between answer choice 3 and 4. 3 says that I'm going to move f of x up 5 units. So if I have my vertex right here, right? And I'm going to move it up 5. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my vertex is going to end up here. So this initial graph I'm going to move it up to I'm going to move my initial graph here. And when I move it, it no longer what? Hits the x-axis. Does it have imaginary roots? Yes. That's my answer. Answer choice 3. If I was to move my graph 5 units down, right? I'm going to move it 5 units down. So my initial vertex was right here. I'm moving it 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It still hits the x-axis. That is not my answer. Answer choice 3 is my answer. Question number 10. Because this video is going to be really long, I'm going to try to just put questions 1 through 12 in this video, and then in the next video we'll do 13 to 24 because I don't want to make the videos too long that it's kind of hard to concentrate. So that's what I'm going to do for these videos. So question number 10. The solutions to the equation 3x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 2x minus 3 are. Here we see I, right? We see square roots. Can't factor it. What are we going to do? Quadratic formula. And remember, quadratic formula. I'm going to write it right here. Is x equals negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay? So we're going to simplify this first. 3x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 2x minus 3. Subtract 2x, subtract 2x. Add 3, add 3. So 3x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. And now we're going to put in our quadratic formula. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times 5 all over 2 times 3. I'm going to simplify it. So x equals 6 plus or minus square root of 36 minus 60 over 6. Simplify that again. X equals 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 24 over 6. So we already know it has a negative, so we can eliminate answer choice 3 because we know it's going to have I. Now, we're going to simplify. I'm going to change the color. This right here. Negative 24. The roots of negative 24. So, what two numbers multiply together and get us 24? And one of those numbers is a perfect square. 4 and 6. And we can just give one of them the negative. Square root of 4 is 2. And then square root of negative 6 does not have a perfect square. So we're just going to have square root of negative 6. Or 2 square root 6i. This negative translates into the I. So I'm going to rewrite my equation now as x equals 6 plus or minus 2 square root of 6i over 6. Now I have to simplify. Well, 6 divided by 6 is just 1 plus or minus, and then 2 divided by 6 is 1/3 square root of 6i. And so we can remove this 1 and just have it rewritten as 1 plus or minus the square root of 6i over 3. Which answer choice does this match? It matches answer choice 2. And that is our answer for question number 10. Question number 11 says, a culture of 1,000 bacteria triples every 10 hours. Which expression models the number of bacteria in the sample after t hours? So, it's tripling every t hours, every 10 hours. So, in 10 hours, it would have tripled, right? So, if in 10 hours it would have tripled, we can't multiply the hours by 10. So, we can eliminate answer choice 3. Answer choice 2 does not acknowledge the condition that says every 10 hours. So we can eliminate answer choice 2. 1 we can eliminate because we're not doing the natural log. Not doing that. It's saying that the culture of bacteria triples every 10 hours. We're not doing E. We're not doing ln. So we can eliminate this answer choice. Only answer choice that works is answer choice number 4. Because if we plug in t to be 1, right? T equals 10, right? 10 hours. If we do 1,000 times 3, 10 over 10, same thing as 1,000 times 3 to the 1, which is going to give us what? 3,000. Does that follow the condition? Yes, because it's saying that the bacteria triples every 10 hours. 10 hours have passed, and now the new sample of bacteria is at 3,000 bacteria. It tripled over the 10 hours. That's how we kind of break down these questions. Sometimes it can be hard to distinguish which one is right. You know what you can do? Plug in a value for t or whatever variable you have and see if the answer that you get makes sense. Our answer makes sense because we're saying that the culture of 1,000 of bacteria triples every 10 hours. So I made T10. When I plugged in 10 to be t, I got 3,000, which makes sense because after 10 hours have elapsed, I now have 3,000 bacteria because it tripled. The 1,000 tripled to be 3,000. I know it's a long explanation. I'm just trying to make it so that you guys understand how this test has a way with words. Sometimes the way they word things can be difficult. You want to try to use what you know to help you solve it. Every single one of you who's taking this Regents is absolutely brilliant. You being courageous enough to take the Algebra 2 Regents is brilliance. So all you have to do is just be careful with the words. Sometimes questions are going to be challenging. As I was solving this, as a student who's taken Algebra 2 Geometry and AP Statistics, some of these questions were challenging, but I was able to figure it out just by rewording the questions. So again, just a reminder, because I saw the comments when you guys were taking the June. You guys are all brilliant. You guys did amazing on the past Regents. Whoever taking it again is in August is going to do amazing. You're going to do better than what you did in June. You just have to be careful when you read your questions. Now, question number 12 is going to be the last question for this part 1. I know I said in the beginning I'm going to do all 24. Videos being a little bit too long, so I don't want you guys getting confused and saying, oh, the video is an hour long, it's too long, so I'm going to make it in increments. Now, question number 12 says, an initial investment of $5,000, an account earns 3.5% annual interest. Which function correctly represents a recursive model of the investment after n years? So, we know that when we write a recursive formula or equation, what we're going to do is we're going to have two parts to the equation. We're going to have the first part, which is like a1 equals or a0, does not matter, we can have both. And the second part, is going to be how it follows. So in this case, we know that it earns annual interest. So we're multiplying. It's going to be a geometric recursive formula. And so our next part is going to be the an equals an minus 1 times the rate. Right? So answer choice 1 and answer choice 3 does not first the recursive model formula. So we can eliminate those. Now between 2 and 4. I wanted to give you guys a reminder. When you guys have annual interest or anything is earning interest, it's always going to be 1 plus the rate that you have. Because it says it earns a 3.5% annual interest, you're doing 1 plus 0.035 to get an R of 1.035. So out of answer choice 2 and 4, correct answer is going to be 4 because it includes that 1 plus. Okay? Whenever you do anything that has kind of like interest, it's always going to be 1 plus whatever you're doing. And like same thing with like exponentials. When something increases, we do 1 plus. When it decreases, we do 1 minus. That's kind of how it flows. So this is the end of part 1 of the multiple choice, so questions 1 through 12. I'm going to be posting questions 13 to 24 as well, and then we're going to do the short answer. Again, make sure if you have any questions, put them in the comment section down below so I can respond and get back to you guys as soon as possible before the test. I believe the test is August 19th. I'm trying to post these videos as soon as possible, so please watch the videos. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, and comment, and share with all your friends who are taking the test, who are going into Algebra 2 next year. Oh, that also reminds me. If you guys already know what classes you're going to take next year, I'm going to try to post a little post or a poll for you guys to let me know which classes you're taking so I can make videos ahead of time on certain topics that I see are very important for you guys to know, so you guys have that foundation for the upcoming school year. Again, I thank you for watching this video, long video, trying to make everything as clear as possible. Have a good day, and I will see you in part 2 of the multiple choice. Bye!